This is Jamie Boyman Marshall. Of course, this isn't Jamie Boyman Marshall. This is Rush Harris, CEO of Medco and a Marshall Economic Development Corporation. And I guess you guys got some bad news as far as a Cabinetworks, a big cabinet company here in Harrison County.
Yeah, unfortunately, Cabinetworks, which purchased Master Woodcraft, which is more of a legacy business that was here in Marshall, or just outside in the ETJ. They purchased and announced a closure here recently. It's very unfortunate. It's somewhat sudden for us all, and we're working our best to find new jobs and new homes for those workers who are going to be affected.
Yeah, and there's quite a few, I guess.
Yeah, there are quite a few. There's 350 total between two plants. So they have a plant in Jefferson, Texas, Marion County, and then just outside of Marshall, Texas, in Harrison County. There are about 100 in the Jefferson plant and about 250 in Marshall.
Okay, and so I guess the company just kind of announced this last week?
Yeah, they did. They did. It didn't give us a whole lot of time to prepare, but we're doing the best we can. We've got great partners with Workforce Solutions East Texas. They're helping us coordinate a community-wide job fair. So what we'd like to do is work with them and either establishing something on premise or somewhere local in the town, in the community, where our other local employers who actually are hiring right now can introduce themselves to some of these workers. Obviously, we want as many of these workers to stay as possible in the community. They have homes and families, and they frequent Marshall, even though the business is just outside of town. Most of them live in Marshall.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, it's real close. So you're 5 miles away or something like that. So
yeah, it's even closer than that. It's just a couple miles.
Right. So I guess I've taken the workers by surprise as well. You were saying that some companies have been contacting you, looking for employees.
Yeah, so I've been getting calls over the past week and a half from other companies that want to hire. They're looking for labor, right? It's been somewhat of a labor shortage, honestly, for the last few years. We have a lot of good manufacturing jobs, and so they need people to fill spots. So a lot of them call me and are asking for the kind of references of who to speak to. I think a community-wide job fair probably puts the right people in the right room for those workers to go and talk to all at once, and provide some assurances that they've had a good chance to kind of look at everybody. If that makes sense.
All right. Yeah. And then you mentioned that it's not 350 jobs coming to Marshall, but there is some retail.
Yeah, we've seen some retail development. I know Seven Brew made a recent announcement. There are some other smaller retail. We've got some small retail actually coming in downtown, which has been great. It's been a good revitalization for downtown.
Okay, all right. And so, and I get, you always have something in the works on down the pipe, but I guess nothing concrete right now, right?
So we in economic development, we always have several things kind of cooking, percolating, right? Prospective companies, and ultimately it's up to them, to make decisions on where they're going to locate. But yes, we are entertaining several.
Okay.
Yeah. So the prospects actually look good in Marshall. We have a good community, good workforce, available land. It's not near as costly as some other urban centers. So, yeah.
That's a good point. Yeah. So I guess you guys are just kind of doing whatever you can to help out.
We can. One of the things that we started a few years back was an initiative called the Workforce and Education Alignment Group, which, and for short, we call it We Align. It kind of, We Align.
Yeah.
So the premise was you have educators and businesses talking to each other about what skills they need and what they develop. So kind of a supply demand. This group has formed from about 4 people to, we've had over 100 at a meeting. So there are several industries who are interested in getting in front of some of these employers, these employees, these prospective employees. They're also helping us work forward on a plan to mitigate some of the effects when you have a mass closure of a plant like this. So it's good to get their perspective. That communication is so integral to what we do for economic development.
Right. Okay. Is there anything you'd like to add?
No, that about covers it. But we thank you for your interest.
Yeah, you bet.
I we don't want to see anybody leave. These closures are unexpected, unfortunate. I know they had some consolidation that they had to do or felt they needed to do at their corporate level, out of the state. But there's some very good assets out there. We've had real estate folks calling about existing properties that they occupy currently. Of course, that's not up to us, but we do have some, or will have some very good site locations here in the near future.
All right, good deal. Thank you very much,
Yeah.
Rich. Appreciate you. All right, so that's a little bit of the down low and what's going on here in Marshall. And there's going to be some people looking for work, but they're going to help them out. We'll have more later on KLTV 7 News and KLTV.com.